Thank you for joining us here for KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. I'm Whitney Ward. Mark is off tonight. Well, let's get started. We are continuing to follow breaking news out of Soap Lake, where all evacuation notices in Grant County have now been lifted. That's just happened here within the last hour after a wildfire there through most of the afternoon. A crew responding to that fire was involved in a rollover crash. It injured 2 firefighters. They have since been taken to the hospital. Tonight, our Kyle Simchuk has the details of what we know so far.
Dozens of homes were threatened by this fire, and as you're about to see, flames got dangerously close. The winds definitely made things more challenging and unpredictable for fire crews today. 4 wildfires igniting across Grant County today. The Hiawatha Valley fire near Soap Lake threatened the most homes, prompting level 3 evacuations.
Worried about the people, their buildings, their families, their animals. That's got to be really scary.
The fire started around 11 this morning right near Shelley Lewis's house.
This could seriously have taken out all those houses, animals. They were packing animals up, you guys. We watched it into trailers.
She believes the wind actually saved her property, but it pushed flames to the east along State Route 28.
Every fire department in Grant County has represented this fire.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office escorted us along the closed highway to show just how close the fire came to destroying newly built homes.
We had moisture, we had rain, everything in Grant County. That doesn't stop fires. That only creates more fuel and makes the fuel go taller. So we have really tall fuel, we had hot temperatures, and we had wind. And it just made everything that much worse to try to get this fire under control.
The 4th of July holiday is fast approaching, and today at noon, fireworks went on sale. They're legal in most parts of Grant County.
I want fireworks banned completely.
We're all very concerned about that. In discussions with the fire chiefs and all the other agencies around here, we're very concerned about the 4th of July weekend coming up. We're asking people to be very, very careful with fireworks.
In the meantime, there were 3 other wildfires also in Grant County today. 3 of them, though, are now in mop-up stage. The Quincy fire that was right outside the town of Quincy, it earlier had reached about 300 acres. It is now under control again and in mop-up. And also, as we continue with breaking news out of Grant County, the fire department had to evacuate about 25 patients because of a gas leak. That was at the Cooley Medical Center. Patients there had to be taken to other nearby hospitals. So if you have any questions about a patient who might have been getting treatment there at the center, you can call this number. It's here on your screen, 509-978-9049. We're told appointments for the rest of the week at that center will be canceled and have to be rescheduled. All right, let's transition to weather now. The fire near Soap Lake is definitely impacting the air quality here. The winds, though, have fortunately died down. So let's turn to our chief meteorologist, Jeremy Legoo, in our outdoor weather center tonight. Is it feeling better out there than it did earlier today?
Oh, absolutely. A lot less wind and temperatures dropping. That's a good sign as we head into the remainder of the evening. But look at the glow on the horizon. All that atmospheric particulate goes to make a beautiful sunset. Right now, we sit at about 67 degrees and notice the wind speed west-southwest at about 16 miles per hour. That's still pulling in some more of that atmospheric particulate. We sit at moderate here in Spokane. It's actually down in the low 50s when it comes to that air quality, or mid 50s. So we're barely into the moderate, but still, if you're in one of those sensitive groups, you have respiratory issues, just avoid time outside. Wind continues to die down this evening, and we'll watch it really relax as we get into the day tomorrow. We could see some locally strong wind gusts and a possible strike of lightning or rumble of thunder late tomorrow, as we see the potential for a few isolated thunderstorms. All in all, though, not looking too bad as we head into Wednesday. Temps fall down into the 50s tonight, and by tomorrow, we're looking at the coolest day of the week. Temperatures topping out in the mid 70s.
All right, Jeremy, thank you. Now to Night Beat with a quick look at the day's other top stories. After Spokane City Council passed a lease agreement for the Trent homeless shelter, it could open hundreds of beds to those who are experiencing homelessness. And the city could also start enforcing a new ordinance, or a proposed ordinance, that would prohibit camping on public property in certain spots. It comes as the homeless camp near I-90 in Freya continues to grow.
The community is demanding that we bring it up now and say, okay, put your best legal brains to work and see what you can do to improve the situation. I don't pretend that we'll ever get to 0, but it could be way less, and hopefully homelessness will be rare and it will be brief.
Spokane City Council President Brian Beggs now looking to revise a 2018 city ordinance that would address illegal camping in the city. He says the best solution is to provide more housing, but without enough resources to meet that need, people will still be unsheltered, he says. This ordinance, though, would prohibit camping in certain areas. People would be unable to camp under and within 100 feet of downtown, in railroad viaducts, in city parks, within 35 feet of the Spokane River, of Latah Creek, and in areas that would pose health and safety risks. Well, don't come to Kootenai County on vacation and leave on probation. That's the warning from the Kootenai County Sheriff's Office ahead of the 4th of July weekend. The Sheriff's Office is reminding people that controlled substances like marijuana are still illegal in Idaho. The sheriff there posted a Facebook message saying the holiday travel brings more people in from surrounding states where weed is legal, but he says all controlled substance laws will be enforced and that there will be a zero tolerance attitude surrounding possession. The Sheriff's Office also posted data from last year's 4th of July possession arrests. It shared that the arrests from Washington made up 46% of the total arrests last year. The majority were from Spokane.
We also saw a growing tendency to attack public education with saying that they wanted to interfere with trying to shut down things like studying social justice.
Well, tonight, new documents detail that the city of Coeur d'Alene knew of Patriot Front 1 year ago. Patriot Front is that known hate group with white nationalism ties. 31 members of the group were arrested from the back of a U-Haul just a few weeks ago after trying to potentially start a violent riot at a pride celebration. The records detail that hate group's presence in this city has been there for a while, as well as on the North Idaho College campus last year. Coming up here in about 10 minutes, we'll also share what we know about a number of stickers that were posted across the city and how police knew about the group before they were arrested. That was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, remember you can just text the word NIGHT to 509-448-2000. We'll send all of them right to your phone. The House Select Committee investigating the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol scheduled a surprise hearing today.
I recall hearing the word Oath Keeper and hearing the word Proud Boys closer to the planning of the January 6th rally when Mr. Giuliani would be around.
In the last-minute hearing, a former White House aide to President Trump's chief of staff, Mark Meadows, said he hinted about problems at the Capitol before the January 6th rally. She also said that President Trump's former personal attorney, Rudy Giuliani, was a part of the right-wing groups being at the Capitol that day. The aide also said former President Trump was furious that Secret Service metal detectors were keeping some of his supporters outside of the official rally on the 6th. In closing today, the hearing, Vice Chair Liz Cheney also mentioned there is evidence, or at least indications, that Trump allies have attempted to potentially influence committee witnesses. She said the committee will now discuss how to proceed. In the meantime, today, the Biden administration has laid out plans that it is now making to protect women's access to abortion services. That's in the fallout of last week's Supreme Court decision to overturn Roe v. Wade.
We can't tell you there's a silver bullet. It takes a little time, because we want to do it right and we want to do it according to the law.
That's Health and Human Services Secretary Xavier Becerra. He says his department has been planning for the High Court's decision to strike down Roe for some time. Today, he unveiled the administration's action plan, which includes increasing access to abortion medication, ensuring privacy for patients and providers, and directing Medicare and Medicaid to protect family planning services, including emergency and long-acting contraceptives. Secretary Becerra says all options are on the table, but he declined to give specifics on how the administration will implement that plan. Senator Jim Risch of Idaho met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv. They talked about the ongoing conflict with Russia. Senator Risch also walked around the recently bombed capital to view the destruction firsthand. He says he intends to do everything he can in Congress to help Ukraine win the war against Russia. In other news we are tracking tonight, the Spokane Valley Performing Arts Center announced it has purchased 5 acres of land to build its new facility. They bought that land from the Spokane Valley Centennial Properties. It's located right next to a Hilton hotel. A ceremony will be held in mid-August, and then construction will get underway. That new building is slated to open in 2024. That was KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go anywhere just yet. When we come back, we're diving into new documents that show how the city of Coeur d'Alene knew about the hate group Patriot Front well before they were arrested. We're back in 90 seconds.